What's up guys, Sean from Window Tint Warriors here, and it is currently 3 o'clock in the morning. We are hopping on a flight to San Diego from New York to train the first KAVACA Window Film window tint training for Ceramic Pro. So stay tuned, watch the journey, and let's go. First off, how many of you guys have seen me on YouTube before?
Yes.
Right. So I have a YouTube channel. I teach window tinting. And Ceramic Pro asked me to come here and I'll teach you guys for 3 days. How many of you know how to tint the basics? 0? Nothing at all?
I mean, describe basics.
Yeah. I want to kind of get a feel out for like what you guys know, so that way we can kind of work on the weak points. If you guys are completely brand new and don't know anything at all, then we can start that way. Is that how we're gonna do it?
As far as hands-on, I'm as fresh as...
What about prepping windows?
We all know how to clean.
So you guys know how to clean. Have you guys ever taken the tint off of a window before?
Yeah.
So you know how the glue comes off and everything like that. Here we have 2 RAV4s and 2 Camrys. We're gonna get started off with showing you how to tint, how to cut the windows, and then we're really gonna focus on using the pre-cut software. So Ceramic Pro is going to be working with computer cut, and I'm going to show you how to use that software. It's very easy, and we'll cut out a bunch of patterns after you guys practice hand cutting, and then we'll take those patterns and just let you go at it with installing them and work on your weak points. So the main goal here is to give you as much knowledge as possible, and then take that home and practice as much as possible. Because the only way you're going to learn how to do this effectively is by doing it. The main thing you need is a squeegee, a tool to get in the sides, and a tool to shrink. You always want to make sure the film is wet. When you're squeegeeing, use a fresh razor blade, and then I'll take it off and scrub the rest of the inside of the back window. So there's 2 ways of doing tint. I'll show you guys both ways. You gotta take what you learn here and practice at home as much as you can. Tint it, rip it off, tint it, because that's how I learned. I started doing dealerships, and I would do pretty much every dealership on Long Island in New York. I fucked up so many windows. Little slip up, you cut into the material. That films off the glass and then garbage, and you're cutting a whole new piece. That's the only way you're gonna learn. You messing up a window shouldn't be a reason to stop practicing. If this is what you wanna do, and you want to do this yourself, do it yourself and practice every single day, because that's the only way you're gonna learn. And I've been doing this every single day for about 11 years. And it's crazy because I'm only 28. First thing you have to do is obviously put the key in the ignition so we can roll the window down. Trick the latch, just do a light mist. When I wipe the outside, I always wipe the surrounding areas. Soapy water, fresh blade, wipe the window down between the gasket and the glass. We'll roll the window up, spray it up with soap and water. 20-inch roll is good for all side windows, and a 40-inch roll for back windows. Roll it out, hang over the top, mount it in place. You could approach cutting the film in 2 ways. So if you put the razor in there with the blade out, you could end up puncturing the film at a point that you don't want it to be cut. So I'll take the blade all the way in, slide it down against the bottom edge, and then I'll put the blade out once it's down snug in there. You want to rip it away from where the window you want to be cut out. The reason you want to shift is because the window does shift when it rolls up and down, and I'll show you when I roll it down how much play it has in it. Because when you put the tint inside, it's always bigger by a very minimal.
Wave. I'm in it for keepsake. In the field with the cleat lace. Beat freak with the bare fake. I'm above average, I padded my stats. I gotta matter what he say. Cross need to laugh more. I keep it 100 on dashboard. Praise faith that I stuck with it. Wave.
So I'll put you guys on each side on one door. We'll do the front doors first, and then we'll work on back doors. Back doors are easier in the sense that the top edge is a lot more flat. You don't have to really go with that curve. So we'll do the hard part first, and then we'll work on the back part. I'll give you guys a piece of tint each, all a set of tools, and I'll kind of guide you guys through it with each step. You guys do that step. If you have trouble with it, let me know, and I'll help you with that step. And we'll kind of like work our way through the process and slowly being able to do it yourself with practicing.
This is an employee's car, and she's totally down.
Is it a WRX?
No, it's a Forester, I think.
Okay.
Ideally, she would like to have 35% tint all the way around now. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, it's understood.
Okay.
But if somebody like starts to stand out and you're like, dude, I got this. Like, switch to this one.
All right. Those knives all have new blades. Try not to. What? Sorry. Yes, you are going to be on the gasket. So you're going to just ride it. If you go too far this way, you're going to cut the gasket.
Yeah.
If you go too far this way, you're going to be a gap. Pick it up, and as you got to keep the tension on there. Yep. Grab it really firm. Yep. And just pull it straight out. You have to bring the film down. Push into the front. Yep. Now just work your way back. Nice and consistent. Don't stop. Keep going. Lift it up a little bit more. Down a little bit.
I think it's good.
You could say that I start right here, but you really don't want to. Right. You're gonna get as close as possible because of that radius. Okay. You start here, and you just work your way across. And when you peel the film off to do the final trimming, you can kind of do it a continuation of that from where you started. That's good. That's the best thing to do with that. Because like literally, you can have a perfect cut and everything else. The door doesn't turn on you. Close. Just pull that straight up. Rest a little bit. For the water to get out.
Oh, I see. And then it's okay if it overlaps.
Yeah, that's completely fine. So you just
Not bad.
Not great. Top gasket being a little bit more dirtier than I expected it to be. I don't think I cleaned it very well. The sides and the bottoms, I obviously took that bottom gasket off, so I didn't really have to worry about that. If I really cleaned the sides, I completely forgot about the top gasket.
I mean, it's pretty awesome for first time trying the car. Tomorrow, the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to come here early and start cutting out 2 sets for each side of the cars, and we're just going to put 1 person on each side, let them tint the whole side. 2 pieces each person. Do that whether you cut up or not. You know, finish everything you can. I'll come around, look at all of them. Then we're going to go on to back windows. I know you guys got questions.
How come it looks so easy?
Huh? I thought the tint was on the outside. Side of the car each. You guys use what you can. If you get a good window on your first try, leave it. And we're gonna try to successfully tint 1 side of the car. Tomorrow we're gonna go back to doing the doors and back windows and work on your weak points. So try to tint the side incomplete and leave it on. Don't rip it off after you're done. All right? So pick a car, pick a side, and I'll bring you the pieces. If you guys are missing tools or you're missing anything, just let me know. If the bottles are empty, sink's in there, there's soap in the sink.
Dude, you're on full teacher mode right now. This is awesome.
Well, yeah. You know, it's like running the crew. You know what to do.
What area is heading for business? Sometimes they run into this issue.
I tell you, an apron, like you were saying, it's got to be a must.
You gotta have at least the 3 the tie ones, or that's what I use. They're really cheap.
From a chair to it's.
So if you go and squeeze it already and it doesn't move, or if you give it like just like these jerking motions, it'll break the glue loose. See how the top edge isn't going to be perfect? Don't worry about that. It's the plotter. Okay. That typically won't be like that, but this is good.
So we're getting a couple fingers here, even though I tried to get them all here.
Yes.
So that's still okay?
Completely fine.
Oh, there's no water under here because I did this.
That's fine. It's small enough. Yeah. Let's make sure you want to push this down. Right.
Yeah, so I did that here.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if that was the right way or not.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
There's no right or wrong as long as you're shooting from the top down. Don't point it at the bottom.
Yep.
I look so tall. I'm like, put the camera up here. Maybe I'm short.
You didn't. Oh man, the gasket's out too.
Yeah, but I left. I didn't have any liner on. Hey, I wanted to ask you about this technique that I saw, where instead of when you're on this side, instead of picking it up, you bring it over the door.
I've seen people do that too, but then one, you're touching the film, whether you're folding the edge and grabbing it like that. I mean, that'll work. That's okay. But you have a chance of this tint sticking to each other, which is unlikely to happen. I've never done it before.
The only other thing I was thinking is that you could get contaminants from if you let it touch.
That too. Yeah.
But it just seems like it might be a little bit easier to just.
If you feel that way, try it. So you would want to kind of put that in there rather than it being creased. Hey, buddy, you just fucked up his old window.
Oh, it is? Oh.
It's all right.
I was like, what's happening? I might be able to save it.
No, that's all right. It's already messed up.
Oh, you're good, man.
Sorry.
No, it's
No,
alright.
you're good, man.
And unless you're having someone hold you, you can even look at the light in there and just move your head around. Or you can use a little portable light. And then you're gonna cut, overlap it just a little bit. Voila. Pretty easy, right?
You're like a professional, man.
All right, who's terrified of the back window?
Not yet.
Here you are, right? It's not that bad. Shrinking it is probably gonna be your hardest part, and installing it is probably gonna be your hardest part.
So the whole thing is the hardest part.
To learn, and once you get it down pat, it's really actually very easy. Like this back window I could probably do in about 10 minutes, shrinking and installing and cutting and everything. It's all about your workflow and getting that down pat. To kind of make this simple, I'm just gonna go over it by step, and I'm gonna do it. And then we'll go back and retrace our steps, kind of like we did with the door windows. And I feel like that's the best way to kind of show you guys. Again, if it's very dirty, wash the car first. Dryer sheet, just a light mist of the soapy water on it. It's a very thin, consistent layer. It'll allow the tint to stick to the dryer sheet. We're gonna take the roll. So with the top, I just overhang it, and then I'm gonna mount the H pattern, just a rough cut, pull it all the way to the side, and just mount the sides. Then I'm gonna be pulling all that tension down to the bottom, rather than leaving it at the top.
Dump and jump for this shit up top when I speak all cap with the speech till they caught up in the rap shit. So out of line with the phrase game, let's take a break, been a everything, everything, yeah.
Work on the back. If you're gonna hand cut it, you can come into a bit of a complication with trying to cut the top edge, because you can see on pretty much all SUVs have this type of wing that covers your area that you would want to cut. And you can cut it, it's just a weird angle to do, but the ideal situation is use a plotter if you can. It's gonna make these hatch style windows a ton easier.
How are we doing in there?
Ow! Blow the corners in. Literally gonna shove it up in there, put the blade out, not cut the paint. Faster is better. Spread it out. And now push it down consistently. Come more to your left. Take this with your hand and just rub this with the back of your hand. Make sure that you always go to the center evenly. You want to heat it as little as possible, because the more you heat it, the more chance you have of curling, like I said on the dot matrix. All right, how do you guys feel about today? You guys learned more?
Oh yeah, yes, for sure.
Did the back window kind of like throw you under the bus or make you feel incompetent or anything? I feel like we're in a classroom setting. You guys all want to sit down? Sit down with it. Tomorrow, we're gonna do, we're gonna work on like the weak points that you guys all had. The first thing we'll do, everything you guys didn't do today, especially you since you're leaving early, you're gonna come here tomorrow, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
All right.
I'll be here for a couple hours.
So get here early and we'll put you right on the back window if you want to show up a little bit early. I'll be here.
Okay.
And do that. What about you?
Back window for sure.
On what?
Shrinking.
On the Camry or
Both.
both of them? All right. So this is basically do what we did today, just more of it. So you guys really just want to practice tomorrow, right? We'll do a windshield strip too. I'll show you guys how to line up a strip on that and this, just so you can kind of see how to do a two-piece strip. And I believe that'll be a two-piece strip as well, because I have the big box in the center. So you cut around that box and you'll be left with two separate pieces, and you literally slap them on and squeeze them out. It's really easy. So I'm gonna put together a list of tools that you guys should have. If you guys wanna purchase them from me or
Turtles.
tools, or
I like turtles.
I don't care, but just make sure you have all those tools. That way you don't stress in a situation where you need a specific tool and you don't have it. You guys got any questions?
Is there anything basic that we haven't learned yet?
The windshield strips. That's really it. And it's just, as you saw, you just line up a triangle, make sure it's even on both sides, squeegee it, and cut out like the dot matrix on the back window. That's it.
I think we're worn
You guys
out,
look
man.
worn.
Turtles.
The back windows will definitely kick your ass. But like I was telling them, you know, that one day that you get the shrinking down pat, and you're like, wow, what the f I've been doing wrong the whole time. I remember the day for me where it clicked with the back windows. I was working for someone else, and he left me alone on the back window. I'm like, I'm about to f this up. And it was a Mercedes C300, and I just went at it, and I shrunk and I didn't push more than an inch, shrunk, didn't push more than an inch, and just went back to the beginning, just kept going like I'm telling you guys, and it just worked. I didn't jump the gun, I didn't try to push too far, I didn't try to heat too much, didn't heat too little. It just worked out, so that will happen for you guys one day if you keep practicing. Let's get out of here, guys. These guys have been on the Subaru the entire time, so let's let them circulate to the...
Did you conquer the Subaru? Did you?
That's got to be tinted, so I'll try to do a pre-cut for you, and don't pick it up, because it's got to look really good.
You're going to be pulling it off. I'll pull it off. You're going to have to do it, for sure.
Well, it's PPF tint or coatings. A lot of it's in the prep work, too. If you do all the prep work properly, it'll save your
The
headache.
problem that I've been noticing throughout this process is contamination. I'll get it cut right, I'll get it shrunk right, but then I'll look in there and there's contaminants in there that I just can't.
Which is typically from hitting it on the door panel or the surrounding
So maybe,
trim of the window.
maybe my focus should be transferring it,
handling the film.
Which
Comes with practice. The more you do it, the more you'll notice like, wow, like I was doing this and I should do this.
Right.
You guys are gonna take what I taught you and you're gonna start doing it and critiquing it to the way that works best for you. Maybe your wrist doesn't bend the way I do, mine do, and then you need to hold it a certain way.
Right.
So we have a perfectly straight line here. We have the material on the outside, keeping the low angle. You kind of know how it's gonna land. If you look at it directly from the top, you won't see a gap. Getting all that adhesive off. And then kind of like a back window. I don't do any micro adjustments. You always want to tell the customer, don't stick anything heavy or no suction cups to the windshield or windshield strip for at least 2 days. So you just want to turn the key on, roll the window down about 2 inches, you know, wipe the outside as if it were a new car. 35 on the 2 front doors and 55 on the sides. Okay. If you want to do the whole side, you can.
I'll do the other side.
Other side?
Yeah, I'll do this side.
Awesome. If you guys can get this tinted by the end of the day, that'll be awesome. We believe no one like, yeah, I tinted the car today.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. Be free with me. Let's go.
The class, it was very learning, actually. I liked all the hands-on. Sean's a cool guy. If you have a chance to watch his videos or go attend his training classes, I highly suggest it.
Loved it, man. I definitely recommend it. Do this if you want to get into tint, and do it with Sean because it's amazing. It's going to completely change my business.
Good, very informative. Can't wait to go and use my skills.
Thank you.
See ya.
See you later, man.
I was badass, bro.
You can be honest. You can be honest about Sean. He won't hear.
He's alright. He's alright.
Is that right? Yeah. He's just all right.
Man's a machine, bro. He's a machine.
Still a long way to go, but yeah. Sean's an excellent teacher, man.
Yeah, very thankful for his help. Seriously, I pay a lot more.
Hey, no, I really do sincerely appreciate all your effort, man. I know it's not easy dealing with a bunch of newbies like that.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's an eye-opening experience, so, man. And I can't wait to take it home and apply it. You gotta start somewhere, right?
And that is it, guys. We trained 10 people on how to teach. And that is it, guys. We trained 10 people on how to tint full cars, back windows, a bunch of various different types of windows. And they all learned a lot in just 3 days. And now it's their job to really kind of take that information, go home, and practice, practice, practice. That's what it's all about. So when you do a training, you got to go home and practice, and that's the only way you're going to excel and succeed. If you guys want to do a hands-on training, link in the description.